Hello, everybody. Michael here. Budget Guy RC. Uh, Not feeling too good today. Been a little under the weather. We've been having a lot of rain. Uh, Sorry, this is a little bit ugh, right now. The lighting in the I'm in the living room right now. The lighting in here isn't as good. So my apologies for that. But what's going on, Bull Guy RC videos? What's up, brother? That power wagon. I got to thinking about you showed the remote on it. It's a smaller remote. The shocks were, I think, oil filled but plastic, and you were talking about you might do something with them. And I think there was one. Oh yeah, and it had headlights, but that's the only lights it had on it. Now I noticed the Jeep, the like I said, the power wagon you got was, I think it was 109.99. I went on there and looked at their Jeep, which is 129.99. Now that's the one I had been seeing on YouTube. Was the Jeep? It has the headlights, the tail lights, and the roof bar lights. But it also has a bigger controller than the one you've got. It's got a bigger style controller, like your normal size controller. It also has partial, if you look at it, it also has partial aluminum, I think it was aluminum body shocks. I think it said partial aluminum body shocks. And the batteries, I think your two are 500 mAh batteries. The two that come with the Jeep are each 700 mAh. So there's your difference between them. It's about, it's a $20 price increase, but you get more lights on the Jeep and you get a bigger remote with the Jeep and you get the better shocks with the Jeep. But you get the better looking body, in my opinion, with the Power Wagon. Oh, but yeah, if you go, I went on their site and looked, and I was like, I want to see what the differences is, because I noticed the Power Wagon was 109.99, and I was looking at the Jeep beside it, and it was 129.99, and I'm like, and I had already been looking at the Jeep when Hobby Plus come out with their little 18th scale, the one that looks like a Toyota 4Runner, the one that looks kind of like a Chevy pickup truck, and the one that's supposed to look like an International Scout or a Bronco-ish. When they came out with theirs, SCX24 is coming out with a Chevy body. Oh man, that should be awesome. That should be awesome, especially if it's licensed like the Jeep one is. Because that Jeep body looks great. The one that they got on the SCX24. You got the yellow and black version, or you got the white and gray CRC version, and those look great. But on the 18th scale, you got the Hobby Plus ones that the Toyota 4Runner, the Chevy looking pickup truck that comes in blue or red. The 4Runner you can get in white or blue. And then you have the Scout or Bronco-ish looking one that you can get either in that gunmetal white gray or you can get in a blue. I like those because the Chevy looking truck and the Scout looking one, they have the headlights and the taillights where the actual headlights and taillights would be. Whereas the 4Runner one, it put them in the front and rear bumpers, on the 4Runner one of those. But I was looking at videos, kind of trying to see what the similarities were of the Hobby Plus, like the International or the Bronco looking one, compared to the Jeep one from Panda. And there's a lot of similarities. It looks just like the 67 1/10 scale body. Two colors, green and gray. What What's up, Blacksmith RC? What's up, bro? Good to have you on there. First time seeing you here. I apologize for my lighting tonight. It's not quite as good as it is when I'm in the kitchen. Just on here talking about some different stuff. And I don't just talk about fishing. I don't just talk about RC. I talk about, fishing, RC, boats, different things. We talk about a little bit of everything on here. But yeah, I mean, I'm really interested in either the Hobby Plus 18th scale. What's up, Hey Dad RC? Good to have you. Good evening to you too. Yeah, I'm really interested in either the Hobby Plus RC, like say the pickup truck one or the one that looks like the Scout or Bronco, or picking up one of the Panda Hobbies, the Tetra styles, or the one like you got. Really, really, really looking into one of those down the road. Appreciate it. Yeah, I finally caught a live video. Let you see the Unimog that I've got. What, my CC01? The one that I've had for 4 years now or more? Is that the one you're talking about? I would take the Panda every day over the Hobby Plus, larger motor. Yeah. Well, what I said about the Jeep one, though, if you figure, okay, I'll show it in just a second. I'll go get it out of the closet. Yep, because I got to thinking about the differences. The Hobby Plus, you get the smaller motor. Basically, not much. It's almost like the 124th, almost identical to it. What's up, brother? Wishing I was fishing 73. The Panda, if you get the Jeep version, they give you the better shocks. Like you said, you get the better motor with any of them. And you get 2 batteries. And I'm just like, if you got this one over here, like the Dodge Ram, you get the Dodge Ram for 109 or 110 as opposed to 130 for the Hobby Plus. I'm going to have to go over here with the Panda RC because you look at that Ram body, that Ram Power Wagon body, it looks great. I looked at the green one like you got, and then I even looked at the maroon and black one. And I like the looks of it too. And then I looked at the Jeep ones. So, you got what is it? Red and black, blue and black. Then you got the yellow and black and the orange and black. Massive Clouds, what's up, my friend? Glad to have you on here. I was telling everybody, sorry I'm in the living room tonight. It's a little bit darker in here. 124 scale is too small for me. Losi Mini T is as small as I want to go. You really have to watch the way you film. If you do a 124 scale, you can't set your camera back a mile back like you do with the 1/10. You got to really be up on that, or else it shows how small it is. You got to get closer in, or you got to zoom in, or whatever, and make your shots better that way. But I like 124s if the RC is any good, because I thought about doing a little mini RC track off on one side of the house, like a little mini RC track, and doing like the little 124s short course trucks. Or I thought about doing a little bit bigger RC track and just doing the 1/16. I never even run my 124 stuff. I just tinker on them. Wow. So your Wraith, you don't plan on ever running the Wraith. It's just going to be a shelf queen, huh? I've got 2 of the SEX 24s. They're great for indoor fun when I can't get out with the bigger ones in the snow. Yeah, my biggest complaint is a lot of them with that BS. They tell you, oh, it'll do this. It's got this. It's worth this. Blah 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 blah. You get it. You spend $100 for it, and you're sitting there going, I might as well bought a cheap no name one because this wasn't, what I expected. Like I've got the little mini barrage, the 124th, and first run, burn up the servo in it, and its battery has either I got a dud battery when I got mine, or the charger was a dud, because I'm lucky if I get 3 minutes runtime. Lucky if I get 3 minutes. Whereas all these other ones, they come with at least a 1 or 2S LiPo. A lot of the other ones. I think that was the Barage's one of the biggest downfalls was the Barrage came underpowered with a little 200 mAh, I think it was, or 220 mAh, little nickel metal. You should have gave it at least a 1S or a little small 2S. I'll run it when I get done building it. I found some metal drive shafts I'm going to see if I can install on it next. Wow. But yeah, man, the Dodge Power Wagon, that thing looks sick. As far as visuals go, it looks sick. I mean, it just really looks the part. The Jeep looks really good. I've got the 124 Charisma Brat as well. It looks nice. Yeah. Definitely. The Brat looks good, looks the part. I mean, it really looks good. And I love Subarus because I had a Subaru Impreza LX years ago, and now I've got a Subaru Outback out in the yard. So I love Subarus, don't get me wrong. But the little Brat, the biggest thing wrong with Charisma, in my opinion, is the wheel size on some of them. The Brat, you had to go smaller because you had to try to make it look scale. But like on the Coyote Pup, the wheels are not tall enough to give it better ground clearance, and the pumpkins are too big, in my opinion, on the Charismas. That's the biggest issue I see with the Charismas. The pumpkins are a little too big, and the tires aren't exactly up to par. I mean, I would rather have my ECX little mini Barrage tires and throw them on like the Subaru Brat. I think they would do better on the Subaru Brat than the Subaru Brat tires, but that's my opinion. But yeah, of course, the SCX24, to me, out of the 24 scales, is the dominant one. You got the Deadbolt, and then they come out with the Jeep one. The Deadbolt, you at least get a fake driver, but the next one, you get the Jeep, and now there's supposed to be a Chevy body coming for them. Did y'all see the 1/10th Charisma Brat? Yes. I love the black. I love the black body, the lightly tinted driver and passenger window and front windshield, so you could see in, so you could put a mock interior in there. Has chrome wheels. I love everything about it, except they still got the bigger fat pumpkins. They did upgrade it and put the servo mounted on the chassis on it. So you're not going to be driving the Brat, the Charisma Brat, off-road and look up in there and see the servo easy. Hobby King Basher Rockstar is a really good crawler. Yeah. Now, if you're wanting for scale looks, yeah, it looks more like it ought to be a Rock Basher or a Rock Racer. It looks like something you'd see out, on one of those competitions. Maybe paint it up a little bit, take some of the silver away from it, and it'd look more like one of those. But as far as looking like something you trail and crawl, not as much. But yeah, I've heard they're pretty capable. I heard the biggest thing was the wheels. The tires wasn't that good on them. Yeah, that's what I heard. But that's from other people. Everybody has their own opinion. I've got the HPX, what they call the Devastator. Now, it's a pretty good little crawling machine. What I didn't like is everything's built in on it. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. And you got to try to get up into this little plug in and plug in right there and stick it in the wall and charge it. And the truck's got to be right there at the wall because the battery's not removable. It's built in. Everything's built in to the system. That's the only thing I didn't like about the HPX Devastator. But it's a pretty good crawling machine, and you got front wheel steer and rear wheel steer. So you got 4-wheel steering, just like you do on the, some of the 110s. Imagine 4-wheel steering on a little 124 scale. People compare the Hobby King Basher Rockstar. They compare it in the HPX Devastator. Give me a minute. I'll be back. I gotta grab 2 things. Oh, and just so y'all know, I'm not ashamed to show anything. Been a little under the weather. Like I said, with all this, we were having 20s, and then all of a sudden we got this front that came through, and they're talking about tornado warnings and hurricanes and stuff like that, and flood warnings. And next thing you know, we jumped up to 70 during the daytime, 60 at night, and the week before we had just had 25 and 30 at night, and 48 and 52 during the day. So to be honest, I'm here in pajamas. So I'm just the videos in pajamas. I'm budget guy. So I'm going to get up. You're going to see pajamas, and I'm going to go grab 2 RCs and come right back. I had one I need to show on here for Blacksmith RC. And the other I'm going to show is the little Devastator. I'll be right back. All right. This is for Blacksmith RC, whether he's still in here or whether he's gone. This is my CC01 Unimog. There you go, bro. I wanted you to be able to, you asked to see it. Still got your midwid on there too, bro. You look under them tools right there. It says midwid. Make it do what it do. And right beside it, Budget Guy RC. Got all that up here. See? Budget Guy RC, have fun RCing, and midwid. And Massive Clouds, as I was telling you, this is the HPX Devastator. Rear steer, front steer. But that's how it comes. And everything's, hold on a second. I'll take the top off of this one. When you take the top off of this, it kind of looks on the order of the Basher Rockstar without the body on it. Thank you, bro. Got to go. Take care. All right, bro. Have a good one. It was good having you here. There's the HPX Devastator without the body on it. I'm thinking about just removing the body post and just running it like that, to be honest. Make it look more like a rock race or rock bouncer that way. I painted the frame rails, the side chassis and everything. I painted all this. I put black on this, black across here. It's starting to come off there. But I did all that in black. I picked up the Proline Power Wagon body so I can have a 1/10 version too. Hey, that's cool. But there's that one. But as you can see, everything is built in that one box. And you got to go right up in there in that hole. You got to get right up in there. And there's a plug in. You see the on and off switch. And right beside it, you see where it says charge with a green arrow pointing up. You got to get up in there to charge it. That's the biggest thing I don't like about this one. I would rather be able to just pull the battery out and charge it. Because then imagine once the battery goes dead and don't want to hold a charge at all no more. You know, once the battery goes dead and won't charge, you either got to tear that box open and see if you can put another battery in it, or the RC is useless. One of the two. However you want to look at it, you know. But I'm putting the body pins in it right now. I don't like the idea of losing them. Just me. I mean, it probably wouldn't come off, to be honest. This body fits on here pretty snug. So I could probably run it without the body pins, body clips. And it wouldn't come off. All right. And the last one. Now, do I like the little barrage? Yes. Do I like the looks of it? Yes. Do I like the tires? See, I really like the tires on the barrage. I mean, they're scale looking. They're made up to be Falken Wild Peak tires. And I love the look of the body. And then I went and took it and added these little mirrors from a 1/24th scale model car that I had. Well, it was a model truck, and the truck got broke. So I took the mirrors from it and added to it. And then I went up here and added the Falken Wild Peak across the windshield. Like trucks have something across the windshield. And then I added the K&N stickers right there on the bed part on each side. Same transmission plate as the Hobby. Plus, yeah. Now, the only thing, like I said, the thing I don't like about this is the battery. To me, if this would have had like even a one cell, if it would have had like, say, let's just say with a JST connector, 3.7 volt with, say, 600 milliamp hour battery, a 1S LiPo, it would have been a lot better than what it is. If this would have been a 2S 500 lithium ion, would have been a lot better than what it is. When I drive it, I noticed that every time it hits something, the lights do this. Every time the truck's trying to maneuver up anything, the lights flicker. It's like it doesn't have enough juice to cover the lights and the truck's power. Now, it could be just that I've got a dud battery, or it could be it needed a bigger battery. And I just think it needs like a 1S or a 2S, in my opinion. But anyway, I don't know whether my charger might be bad or whether my battery might be bad. You should put 2 of the N20 gear reduction motors on it. But see, I changed the servo. Put me one of those MG, I think it's a 905. Oh, my bad. MG90S. I was looking at it through the camera right there, and it looked like a 5. MG90S is what I put in here. Because like I said, the servo that came with this truck, I went out to do the first run I did with this truck, and it wasn't even halfway through the run. I was having to turn the steering wheel 2 and 3 times just to get it to react. And as you can see, I moved the battery forward. I just cut this away. This was the battery placement area. It had the battery, was that right here. The battery was at the back of the truck up here. And I cut that away. And just went right here, just zip tied it. So it's right behind the front axle. That way it would give it a little bit better, action. But my biggest issue was, in my opinion, the battery. But now, yeah, I wanted more weight up front, because I felt like when I did this, see, now it's more weight up front. Whereas when I did this, when I first got it, and the battery was back here, it wanted to do this. And every time I went to go up something, every time I went to climb, it would stand on this wheel because it's got the spare tire back here. And I went up one thing, and every time I would start up it, it would just flip over backwards, would never even start to climb it on the first time I ran it in the house. I moved the battery up forward like that, put it on that same spot, and drove straight up the thing. Just by doing the forward weight bias right there. So that helped it some. But to be honest, yeah, to me, it needs a better battery. I'm going to stick by that one forever, that I think it needed a better battery. But, everybody's got an opinion. I'm not saying mine's right. I'm just saying I think it needed a better battery. Well, I got to get out of here, guys. Later, Bull Gear videos. You have a good one, my friend. Hey, when can we expect to see a run video of the Ram? And did the shocks loosen up some more after messing with it a little bit more? Or are they still stiff? Because I know you were talking about how they were a little stiff on it. Just curious before you get out of here. I'll see if I can drop a video soon. Thanks, my friend. I'm really interested in seeing that because, like I said, I'm looking at, as far as the 1/16 type scales, I'm looking at either, one of the other ones. But I like the Power Wagon, but to be honest, I also like the Jeep. Yeah. So I'm looking at both of them. And I just want to see what you think of how it performs and everything. I haven't decided because, they're about the same price as the 124 scales. So I'm kind of on the fence which way I'm going to go. I might wait until Axial releases that Chevy body. Yeah, you're right, Massive Clouds. That Power Wagon does look good. I actually like it in both colors. The green and black gives it a little more of a military look. And but the maroon and black, I kind of like that because it makes it look like just a person's truck. And with a little bit of weathering, you can make it look like more like an old farm truck. Yeah, I like the Jeeps too. Yeah, I like them because you got the headlights, the tail lights, and you got that roof bar light at the top. That's what I like about them so much. They give you more lighting, and they give you bigger. Oh yeah, go to hobbypanda.com or pandahobby.com. My bad, I said it wrong. Go to pandahobby.com and look on their site, and they show you the maroon version of it or the green and black. It's maroon and black or green and black. You can get them both of those ways. And then you got 4 different colors on the Jeep. And they're coming out with another body. Yeah, they're coming out with another body. They haven't got it in stock yet for the U.S. Store. But they're coming out with what looks to be like the old Dodge Ram Charger. The SUV. The Dodge Ram Charger, as they called it. Look kind of like the old Bronco, kind of like the old Chevys. But yeah, they got 2 of them, 2 different colors. They got I want to say a tan and brown, they call it. And they've got a black and red. The black and red from the side looks like the TRX 4 Bronco. The black and red one does. But at the front of it, when you see the grill, it's got that middle line splitting off the 2 sections of grill. And if you look up some of the old Dodge Ram Chargers, the SUVs from way back, they had that type of grill look to them. I really dig the red Jeep. Yeah. They got the red and black, the blue and black, the yellow and black, and then an orange and black on the Jeeps. Yeah. But yeah, they got, like I said, they got one that kind of looks like the TRX4 Ford Bronco because it's done the exact same color, the black with the red down the side. But it looks more like a Dodge in the front end than it does a Ford Bronco. And it's got the headlights, the tail lights, and it's got a roof bar light on it. I can't even find the Power Wagon. Hold on a second. Let me open another tab and I'll see if I can find it for you. All right, man, I just pulled up the other tab. Sorry about this, Massive Clouds. It is pandahobby.com. And when you come up to the first page, it'll sit there and it'll show you a little clip where it'll go show you the green Power Wagon, and then it'll flip to the next little page, say graphic details, and it shows you the orange and black Jeep. Well, if you click on vehicles, and it'll show you all 4 of the Jeeps, and it'll show you the maroon Dodge Ram Power Wagon, the green one, and it'll show you the beige and brown and the black and red, what I think is a Dodge Ram Charger SUV. Now, like I was saying, Massive Clouds, it ended up being, it's Panda Hobby. You get on the main page and you click up there at the top, you'll see vehicles. Click on vehicles and you come down, it'll show you everything they've got. See, you go over there in the red and black one, it looks kind of like a Bronco. That thing looks good because you got the clear front windshield and the clear 2 front windows. So you could do a mock interior and something like that. Plus, it's got the light bar at the top. Plus, it doesn't have the extra front bumper like the Jeep has or the Power Wagon. It doesn't have that. So it seems like it makes it look a little more scale because of the way they did that. But I like the maroon better than the green wagon. See, I told you that that maroon and black Power Wagon, it's maroon trimmed in black, just like the green and black one. To me, it looks like something you would see in somebody's yard that somebody owned. Whereas the green one looks more like the military style. And I think Bull Gear, he took his and he put a white star where the doors are to make it look more like it was a military, you know. But yeah, the maroon and black one, that thing looks like you could, if you added the right accessories to it, and put a few things up in the bed, make it look like an old farm truck, you know. The Broncos got your OCD going batshit. Oh man, I like that one. Yeah. I like that one, my friend. I like that one. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I like the Power Wagon. But remember now, the Power Wagon's $109.99. Yeah, it's missing the front part of the red two-tone. Yeah, but it does look good. The red and black one. But if you look at the grill, look at the pictures. From the side, it looks like a Bronco. You turn it to that front. When you see the front, just the front end view of it, it's got the Dodge front end, the grill of an old Dodge like Ram Charger. The grill's modeled more after that. Yeah, it is. It's killer compared to the other ones. I mean, it's the scale on that one, the scale realism on that one is just, it's like they were going after the Dodge Ram Charger, but yet they did it up the same color as the TRX4 Bronco because they knew that was a big seller. You know, so if you're looking at it from the side, it looks like a Bronco. If you look at it from the front, it gives it the Ram look. And to have headlights, tail lights, and a roof bar, right? And it comes with it and the Jeeps come with 2 batteries, and they're both 700 milliamps each. So you get 1,400 milliamps worth of power that you can run through them before you have to recharge. The Power Wagon, since it's only $109.99, it comes with smaller batteries. It comes with 2 500 milliamp hours batteries. But still, either one of them, you'd have plenty of time to run them. But now the Power Wagon just has plastic shocks. Yeah, the Dodge Ram Charger. The Dodge Ram Charger, you would have partial aluminum shocks, partial plastic, I think is what it is. Whereas the Dodge Ram Power Wagon, it's just got plastic shocks. That's why it's cheaper. Plus, they come with smaller batteries. They both still, all of them come with 2 batteries. Yeah, you look at that grill, and you can go look at a Ram Charger. It's the old Dodge Ram Charger. But yet, the Ram Charger Power Wagon. But yet, they gave it the color scheme of the TRX4 Ford Bronco. I've heard nothing but good things about them. I've heard they're better than the Hobby Plus. And the Hobby Plus ones, the 1/18th scale, which is the blue or the red Chevy pickup looking one. You've got the white or the blue Toyota 4Runner looking one. And then you have the one that looks like either the International Scout or the Ford Bronco, the old body style. You have it come in blue, or you have it come in, I think it's a gunmetal gray. They're good. People really like them. But I've heard these are better than them. So the motors are bigger too. The motors are bigger than what they are in those Hobby Plus ones. I think the Hobby Plus ones, they run something like a little 130 motor, and I think these other ones run a 180. Yeah, I think they say on the site. Hold on a minute. I didn't see that right out. I got on YouTube around 6. Wasn't sure if you went live 6. Normally, it's between 7 and 8:30. To be honest, normally it's between 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. Somewhere in that range. I figure that way it generally gives people time enough to eat. You know, generally gives people time enough to eat supper. Oh, you're central. But yeah, well, here it's like 9 p.m. here now. I didn't get on until 8:30 tonight. I fished all day, came home, ate, showered, and got on YouTube laughing out loud. Hey, now I got to show you something since you mentioned fishing. This is just something I had done. If you look, rod and reel, fishing net, and 2 fish, 2 bass on ice. You caught your personal best largemouth bass, huh? It's always nice when you can go out and catch your best and outdo your personal best, you know. Yeah, I wanted to make it look more like, stuff you would actually carry. 6 pounds, man. Congrats. I wanted to make it look more like stuff you'd actually carry when you went somewhere. Like if a guy's going out, he's going out in his old truck, his old Unimog, he's taking it out in the woods. Maybe he's looking for a fishing spot by the creek or something. Well, he's got a couple of bedrolls in case he wants to lay down. He's got some firewood in case he wants to start a fire. And he's got his old dog with him. And he's got a rod and reel, fishing net, and that's the fish he's caught afterwards. And on the back, that was supposed to be an RC car. That was what it was made up to look like. Caught an 8.6 pound largemouth bass catfishing with liver, but I just can't count that. Wow. So you were throwing out chicken livers or livers, fishing for catfish, and snagged a largemouth bass, and it ends up being the best one you've ever caught in your life. Hey, don't matter how, as long as you catch, you know? But yeah, like I said, I apologize for the lighting. I'm still apologizing for it. I want to make that apparent to everyone. The lighting's not as good in here as it is in my kitchen. Yeah, how does that happen? I can't remember. I can't remember ever catching a largemouth bass on chicken livers. But, well, thanks for saying that, my friend. But it is a little bit better in the kitchen when I'm in there, because what it is I'm sitting right there at my RC Lake desk. I put the computer up on it, and then I've got an overhead lighting that shines right down over the computer area, which the camera catches, and that gives it a little bit better lighting, you know, like on me in the background. Hi, hello. Oi. Only one video of someone catching a largemouth bass on liver on YouTube, and he was just as dumbfounded as I was. Yeah, I can imagine. I have never, ever, ever caught a bass on chicken liver. I mean, to be honest, that's just like throwing out like night crawlers. I've heard people say that they put night crawlers on and throwing them out there with a cork or whatever and landed bass. I've never caught a bass on a night crawler. Only thing I've ever caught bass on is like fake stuff or minnows. Only out of a pond at that. That might be your answer. He could have just been that hungry. Because, you know, a lot of your ponds don't get much attention. They don't get fished a lot. So the fish in there are a lot hungrier. Could be. I'm just, throwing that out there. Marcio M. Roa says, OU. Not sure what that means. Oi. Yep, people fire bass up with bobber nightcrawler here. Oh, well, see, that's the difference. I've been fishing in South Carolina off and on ever since I was 14, at least, steadily fishing. I've been fishing ever since I was about 10 years old, but my dad started taking me around 10, but never had caught a bass on some nightcrawler and a bobber. Never. Like I said, my first bass fishing was I had the old hula popper. I've only seen it happen in ponds and lakes. Well, mine was hula popper, broken back minnow, and a rubber worm. But never real worms for bass. Now, like I said, I did catch bass on, minnows and stuff, live minnows. But yeah, that just surprises me. See, I'm just sitting here, I'm like flabbergasted. I can't even really think right now. You done went and caught a bass on a chicken liver, which I've never heard of, and you're telling me that people up where you're at catch bass all the time on a bobber with night crawlers. And I'm sitting here going, what? You just blew my mind on that one. When I think night crawlers, I think throwing them out for catfish, putting them on a cork, throwing them out for catfish, like, just a little ways down under the top, and then throwing it out with no bobber on bottom for cats. Okay, this one's gone. Yeah, I saw him. I already timed out and reported him. At first I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying maybe he just didn't speak, English. I gave him the benefit of the doubt because he comes on and says hi. I said hi. Then he says oi. I said oi. Then next thing you know, he's saying the same things again. And then he's asking my name, which is clearly right there on the screen where I typed it in when I came on, and I even said it when I came on. And then he's telling me he likes my banana. So yeah, he had to be reported. He's still in here, but like I said, he had to be reported. I got no time for trolls. I'm on here talking to my friends about other stuff. They haven't ran me out of the golf course pond yet, knock on wood. Yeah, I didn't want to straight up call him a troll, but I had that feeling. Yeah, I give you the benefit of the doubt. The first few things you say, if you say hi, that's not trollish, or you say oi, that's still not trollish. But then you sit there and you say the same thing over and over again, and then you throw something else in there I can't really understand. And then next thing you know, you're saying, what's your name? And then you follow that up with, I like your banana. Now, if I was wearing a bandana, I could think, he just got confused with the language and said bandana, thinking bandana. But no, there's no bandana. There's nothing around my neck. So, yeah, troll time again. Yeah. I wonder how long it's going to take. You might at least get you 2 or 3 good fishing trips out of there before they run you out. Yeah, man. I can't really figure it out. I did like my first 6 or 7 videos and didn't have a troll one. Not one on my first 6 or 7 videos. Then all of a sudden, I get that episode where we had all the trolls, or that same troll with all the different accounts, one or the other. And then since then, it's been, since then it's been more sporadic. It's just been one here or one there. Because if you remember when I did our talk last week, I think we only had like one. I honestly think it's okay to fish there. Seen 40 or so golfers, and they were all nice. Could be. Now, I've run into some people before. Years ago, let me tell you this little story. Years ago, you could drive down the road. I lived in an apartment complex over here on this side of the road. Over here on this side of the road, right past that apartment complex, was a housing development. Right there in the housing development, at the front of it, they had a big pond. And out by the road, there was a a walkway or a path that you could walk up and down. Sidewalk was being put there, and they put the sidewalk there and didn't have any signs or anything. Well, me and my buddies would meet up at my apartment, and then we would go over there. We would walk across the street, go over there and stand on the sidewalk, which nobody was using, and we throw in that pond. And we caught fish over there. We actually had people from that subdivision come out onto the sidewalk and say, y'all need to leave. And we go, and why? This is private property. I'm like, well, where's the signs? Well, y'all need to leave. You're on private property. I'm like, no, I'm not on private property. Y'all don't own the sidewalk. This is out here next to the road. You do not own the sidewalk. You may own part of the land that the pond's on. You might own the road, you might own the damn land, that the pond's connected on. But you don't own, the sidewalk. Yeah, I wish the other guy, I timed him out again. I reported him again, too. Yeah, I wish it would time him out for more than 300 seconds. I haven't figured out how to remove somebody completely. I guess I need to write that name down before I go off here. Write down Marcio M. Roa and go into my list where you can block people from ever commenting on your channel ever again. That may be how I have to start doing it. Just keep me a pen and a piece of paper. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Me and my buddies come there, and we throw out there and we fish, but we stay on the sidewalk, which is public property. The state tends, the city tends to that sidewalk, or the state. That don't belong to them people that live in the subdivision, because this is out at the road. It's not even inside the subdivision. But he got mad because 2 houses in, his backyard is on this pond. So he automatically, since the subdivision actually built the pond, the subdivision owns the pond, he thought he had rights to come out there and tell us we couldn't fish off the road. But I'm like, I'm not on no land that belongs to y'all. He was salty as all get out. And then he started telling all the other people out there. And they started coming out there and harassing us. And we'd be like, look, we're standing on the sidewalk, which is not your property. If we step onto the ground anywhere in your yard, call the cops. If we come into your subdivision, park our car in front of your house, walk down beside your house, and stand out there and fish, call the cops. But until then, you can't do anything because we're on the sidewalk. So they went and got a petition up. No, I stayed there and fished. Did I leave? No. I told them to call the cops. I said, if you want me out of here, you're going to have to call the cops. I'm like, because there's no trespassing sign. There's no fishing signs. There's no signage. If you want me out of here, you're going to have to call the cop. Well, they got a petition up and went to somebody, and they ended up having signs put. They had one in the ground. In other words, they took a boat and went out in the water and shoved a big metal pole down in there and had a sign attached to it that said no fishing, private property. And then they had one put, or 2 put, over there in the ground right off of that sidewalk. And it said, no fishing allowed, property owned by residents. Yeah, that's what it was. He was so salty about somebody fishing in his pond that nobody was fishing in. It was just being left unused. So he caused all that trouble. Oh, yeah, I really made him mad when I told him he couldn't do anything but call the cops on me. And I would have told them the same thing. They might would have made me leave. But I was going to tell the cops the same thing. Look, officer, it's a fishing spot right across the street from where I live. I walk over here with my rod and reel and some fishing tackle. I fish, I clean up my mess, and I leave. I'm not making a mess over here. There is no sign that says I cannot fish here. There is no sign that says no fishing here, private pond, or any of that. And he's just coming out here harassing me. Now, it might have been because some of the people that went over there and fished might have thrown trash, but I wasn't one of them. So that might have been some of the stuff that started it too. I hate it when people throw down trash when they go fish. Like what I showed y'all when I went down there and showed y'all that fishing spot. All them beer cans down there. I wish people would just pick up their trash because people end up ruining it for everybody. People are jerks these days, man. Oh, you got that right. You said a mouthful and then some. I mean, that's like my last video, the spot I was showing you right down from where I live. I'm walking down there to go fishing, and there's beer cans. There's like 5 beer cans right there. Over here to the side, off beside that canoe, there's trash beside it. And there's trash on the other side of this boat over here. And I'm sitting here going, really, people? And that's what causes the problem. Y'all throw down the trash. Other people see the trash. They don't want to have to deal with it, the owners of the land. And then they put up no fishing, no trespassing. And then there you go. You lose the right to that spot. That's what happens. I watched this guy who was fishing a pond. He'd been fishing for 10 years. Never had a problem down there. And he goes down there one day and he's fishing it. And the guy comes down there and tells him, oh, yeah, you can't fish down here anymore. And he's going, huh? He goes, yeah, I'm about to have this posted. And he goes, what happened? He goes, I had a bunch of people coming down here and they just would never carry out their trash. They were throwing out stuff left and right. And he said, I get tired of cleaning up my land that I didn't mess up. So I'm going to make it no trespassing. And this guy didn't fish. The guy that was going to make it no trespassing didn't fish. So now everybody's going to lose out on this sweet spot because the few that messed it up. Yeah. You had to do that just so he didn't ruin it for you, because if people saw you eating while you were down there and then next thing you know, there's trash on the ground, they're not going to care who left it. There, I don't even want to. Now he's wanting to say good evening. I don't even want a good evening from him. But yeah, massive clouds. People ruin stuff. I'm thinking about the next time I walk down there to do the fishing. I'm thinking about the next time I go down there where I showed you. I'm thinking about just carrying me an old Walmart bag in my tackle box, and just pick them beer cans up and chunk them in it, tie it up, bring it up, and just throw it in the trash when I go to the trash pile. See, we don't have trash pile. We don't have a trash pickup over here where I live, so I have to bag my trash up and then take it off to a local landfill or recycling center. But I'm thinking about taking a Walmart bag with me the next time I go down there to fish that spot, and at least get up those 5 beer cans and a couple of the other big items, because that stuff's close enough to the water that it could end up in the water, and I don't like that. Thank you, Electrical Domino. Or Dynamo, my bad. It's good to have you here tonight, my friend. Yeah. But see, that's the point. You shouldn't have to go down to a fishing hole and clean up after people. Do I look like their daddy? I got some more kids I don't know about. Yeah, and it makes your fishing hole look like crap because of them. You go down there and you got potato chip bags. I'm just saying, I didn't find this, but say you got potato chip bags somebody left out, and they left out drink cans and this and that and the other beer. I'm in South Carolina. You got beer cans and all this stuff sitting out there, and the wind blows real hard one day. Say it gets up to 20, 25 mile an hour, maybe 30. All them plastic bags, all them chip bags, all them styrofoam containers that you threw out that had food in them, all them beer cans because they're aluminum. All that stuff that got blown into the lake. When all you would have had to done was, most of the times when you buy something, it comes in a bag. If you buy tacos from Taco Bell, you got a paper bag. You put stuff back in that, or put it in your pocket. Crumble up the paper from your cheeseburger or from your taco or from whatever, or your hot dog, crumble up the paper, push it in your pocket, or ease it into your taco box, take it with you. When you get home, throw it away. Yeah, I'm sure you got a trash bag at your house. I'm sure. You know? Uh, yeah, people are lazy, for sure. Electrical dynamo, good fish in there. How was them lures you made a vid on? To be honest, I haven't tried them yet, but one of them, I tried the rubber body one. Didn't get any hits on it. Be right back. Need a drink. Okay, my friend. Electrical dynamo. I tried the rubber body one that looked like a shad. Didn't get any hits on it. But I haven't tried any of the other ones yet. But on my last video where I went fishing down to this fishing hole, I told everybody I may try the topwater frog next time I go. I cut the tassels down to about an inch, inch and a half coming off the back of it because they were just way too long. A lot of times on the cheaper ones, they have the tassels way too long. But yeah, I tried one of them. Didn't get no hits on it yet. And I'm going to be trying the topwater frog next time I go. I got 2 topwater frogs. I'm going to probably be throwing both of them out a little bit. And then I'm going to, I got another plug that I'm going to be trying that didn't come in that set. But yeah, I got some more of them I need to try. But thanks for asking. I'm glad you saw that. Like I said, I've only tried one so far out of the 5. It was 6. I've only tried one out of the 6 so far. So I got a few more to try. But yeah, we were just talking about how people don't clean up their mess. I did a video where I showed everybody me walking from my front porch down there with my fishing stuff, getting down there. And as soon as I get down there, yeah, man, I'm always watching. Just not always commenting, huh? I didn't know. Sometimes you don't think people's watching if they're not commenting. Didn't know you were watching, just not commenting. But thank you for watching, even if you don't comment. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, I'm like, really? You know, you got a boat here, a boat up here, another boat over here, and you're gonna have beer cans all down here and trash around those boats. What's up? Fishing with PH. Mr. Pickerel Hunter. What's going on, my friend? I haven't watched your latest fishing video. I was fixing to do this, and I hadn't done nothing but just went on YouTube and saw it listed, and I knew it was about time to start this, and I'm like, well, I'll go back later. Pop some beauties in my latest vid. I'll take a look when I get off of here. We were talking about how people don't clean up the fishing holes they visit, and it ends up being a mess for everybody else, and then sometimes ruins it, and the place ends up being private after that. I know if you watched my last video, that spot down there, which you did, I know you saw the beer cans I showed that people threw out down there. I was telling Massive Clouds and Electrical Dynamo, I wish people would clean up their own mess and quit wanting everybody to be their mama and their daddy and do it for them, you know. You weren't lying, PH. Your voice threw me for a loop after watching your RC videos, then watching your fishing vids. I got to ask what made you change your voice like that. I mean, why even do it? Just curious. Is it because you wanted to make the channels stand apart more? Is that why? Is that why you changed it? Oh man, I used to pick up bags and bags of trash for many, many years. Yeah, man. I mean, I used to go to the state park and I'd always tell somebody, hey, let's take a bag with us. Because we knew when we got to the spot to fish, somebody was going to leave the empty worm containers. Somebody else was going to be done left their empty soda bottles or the soda cans. It's ridiculous though, man. You get down there and it's like you find all this trash, and people don't think that if I clean this up, I can fish this place forever. But if I keep making this mess, and they get upset with it, especially ponds or private landings where only the residents that live there are supposed to go fish at that part of the lake. Like, see, we have permission to go down there and fish right there where you saw me at. Right up above, a couple blocks from here, there is a boat ramp still in this subdivision. We have permission to fish from that boat ramp. We have permission to launch a boat from the boat ramp. But you think about the owner of the land, how they're going to feel if they keep coming around checking their land and it's always getting nastier and nastier and nastier down there and nobody's cleaning it up. Sooner or later, they may say, no fishing allowed, no boating allowed from their land. And then that means you got to go down the road a couple miles to be able to put your boat out or to be able to go fishing at all. Yeah, it's going to cut people off because you're messing up this man's land, and then he's got to say, come around and clean it. Ah, okay. I was just curious why the change of voice when you do the fishing videos as compared to the RC videos. But yeah, man, I'm sorry, keep going on about the trash, but it just irks me because I've had at least 2 or 3 places I fished at that I got taken away because of people making a mess. Because the people that own the land didn't want to come out there and clean up their own land when it wasn't their place. They didn't make the mess. They shouldn't have to clean it up. And it was easier for them to just put up that no trespassing sign, no fishing sign, and say, hey, you can't be here anymore. Because every time y'all come down here or some of y'all's friends come down here, there's a mess. And I told them, I said, we never make a mess. Your fishing videos remind me of Steve-O's voice from Jackass. I got to run, man. Everyone hit that like button, guys. All right, Electrical Dynamo. Thanks, my friend. I really appreciate you stopping by. It was the first time having you on one of my live talks, and I'm glad to have you here, my friend. You have a great one. But yeah, man, like I said, I had a bunch of fishing holes get ruined by people. I went to one time. Somebody had done brought a chair down there, an actual chair, like out of their living room, and thrown it out like 10 feet from the water. It's like they brought it down there, used it to sit in, and then left it there. And I'm like, a rickety old living room chair is sitting down here at this pond by the water. And this was at a pond I went to one time. I was wild on the original Pickerel Hunter videos from my cousins. So crazy. I don't put them up only once in a while. I will upload a classic Pickerel Hunter video on my new fishing channel. Oh. Now, you know, people that own the land, that wind tape looks sexy on that St. Croix rod. St. Croix rod. Now, Pickerel Hunter or Shin RC. Earlier, we were talking about 124 scales. And we were, your voice gets rough from doing it. Gives you a sore throat, huh? Basically. Really sore right here. Kind of hard to talk after you do it that way for a while. We were talking earlier about 124 scales, and I brought my two 124 scale type crawler trail rigs out and was showing them. And we were talking about the Axial SCX 24. We were talking about the Charisma ones. We were talking about different ones and everything. And some people were saying they didn't like 124 scale. It was too small. The smallest they liked was kind of like the 1/16, 1/18 type scale. And I told, my opinion was, if you're going to run this or this, you just need to make sure you watch where you position your camera. So that way it shows it off better. You got to get better shots of it. You got to be closer in on the action to get better shots of them than you do with your 1/10. That's just like a 1/16, 1/18 scale trail truck or crawler. You got to get in a little bit closer or zoom in a little bit more to get the better shots with a 1/16 or a 1/18 than you do your 1/10. And I had Blacksmith RC stop by, and he had asked to see my CC01 Unimog, which I added the sliders, rock sliders to here. Got the front brush guard here. And then I put the spare tire over there. And then it's got mid-wid for Blacksmith RC, make it do what it do on the back. And then my Budget Guy RC, Have Fun RCing sticker right there. And then some little tools on the back. And then some fishing gear. You got the rod and reel, the fish on ice, the fish net, some firewood, a couple sleeping rolls, bed rolls, and then what's supposed to be like in a little old RC car. Yeah, the 124ths can do a lot. Some of them can. And yeah, I love my CC01s. My Unimog here, and then I got that CC01 that I put that Jeep body, that blue Jeep body on. I love both of them. I'm going to probably take the Jeep one, which has got the white aluminum wagon wheels with the axial ripsaws on it. I'm probably going to take it and change out motors on it and go with a little bit more torquey motor than what I got in it. I think I've got a 45 or a 55 turn in it. And I don't have the gear reduction in there, so it's still a little too fast in my opinion. Needs to be a little bit more torquey. So I'm thinking about going with like an RC 4-wheel drive 80 turn or an old axial 80 turn type motor. But thanks, Massive Clouds. Yeah, I love my Uni. I love my Uni, and especially these were I haven't had these tires on there that long. These are Dick Cheppick Mud Country. That's the tires that are on it. Dick Cheppick Mud Country. I love these tires. I really need to fix the slop in the front end. This thing's got some of the worst steering slop in the front end that I've ever seen, though. But yeah, for what I use it for, it's more of a trail truck, and I know that it's not, an absolute beast crawler. I know that. So, but now I don't have the tires glued on yet. I don't have them actually glued on yet. I've just got them on there because I'm thinking about getting some aluminum rims for this. They would be black, but just get me some aluminum beadlocks. That's why I haven't glued the tires on yet. I want to get me some black aluminum beadlocks to put on there. They're sloppy, but don't matter. They're slow. Yeah, the steering's really sloppy on this thing, but it's so slow, and it's a trail truck. Yeah, I use 75 to 80 turn in mine. I've got, I think, 55 in the Jeep one. I think the Jeep one has 55. I think this one's got a 45 in it. And yeah, you can tell it when you're out there and you're trying to go slow. Shin RC, what's up? Laughing out loud. I like the way you did that, my friend. He'll be back in 5. He's a little wrapped up in real life. But yeah. I want to do, like you said, 75, 80 turns, something like that. I want to do that at least in the Jeep. Because I beat on the Jeep more. I've actually cut the Jeep. The CC01 body, the CC01 chassis on it has been cut a little more. I took the CC01 chassis on the Jeep and I cut these inner fender parts that are on the CC01 chassis. I cut them in some. So the tires, because the ripsaws are a little taller, so they wouldn't rub as much. And I come here, and that big block that's right under here where this is mounted, that big block section right here in front of the steering, this big plastic block that gets in the way when you're trailing and crawling, I cut that big block off of the other one. I'm not doing that to this one. This is my Pride CC01 here. This is my baby. This one gets more babied. That Jeep, it gets more beat on. Yeah, it does, because it gives it better approach. It really helps the approach angle when you cut that off of there. So that's why I love it on my Jeep. Plus, with those 1.9 axial ripsaws on there, you got a little more height on it. And then if you cut that front off, it really helps it. But I saw when I use that Jeep, especially with that heavy Jeep body, because it's that New Bright. It's that plastic body. It's a hard body, as they call it. And that hard body, that Jeep hard body laying on that CC01 is really heavy. So you really need that torquey 80 turn, in my opinion, if you want to climb up something with that heavy body on it. I think I have CC01 videos from back in like 2006 in the mountains. Yeah, well, you've been doing this a while. I mean, I've seen some of your older videos. You've got some videos that have been on quite a while. We were talking about, before you popped on here, Bull Gear RC videos was here, and we were talking about his Power Wagon that he's got from, what is it, Panda Hobby. We were talking about that. And we were talking about the, wish it was 2006 again, laughing out loud. Yeah, but when Bull Gear was here, we were talking about that new Power Wagon he's got, and we were talking about different ones like that. Yep, the years are flying by. It's like you blink, and a month's gone by. That's what it seems like. It's like, okay, it was just the first of the year, felt like 2 days ago. But wait a minute, it's already halfway through the month already. It feels like it just became New Year's. Well, now it's already halfway through January. So, yeah. You notice the days fly, except when you're waiting on getting paid. Then it seems like they drag. Payday always seems to drag. But other than that, the days kind of fly by. Yeah, you too. New Year's fly by. Yep. My Kyosho Mad Van shipped out, headed to me today. Oh man, congrats! Congrats on that. He's telling about his bass, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. Again, sweet, massive clouds. Oh man, definitely. Yeah, I'm like on the fence. I will show it next time. I will show it next to the lunchbox. Thanks. Cool. That way we get a size comparison. I'm debating whether I'm going to get, to be honest, one of the Axial SEX 24s, like the Jeep body one. Nice big Bertha right there. Whether I'm going to get the Axial SEX 24, the Jeep one, or whether I'm going to wait and get the new. I've heard there's a new Axial SEX 24 with a Chevy truck body coming. That's what Bull Gear RC Video said he heard. It's supposed to be, I think, like a 67 Chevy pickup or something like that. I may wait for that one, and when I get the money, get something like that. Or I may get one of these Hobby Pandas. I'm looking at the Hobby Panda, the Jeep one by them. I'm looking at the Hobby Panda Power Wagon. Yeah, I seen it on Facebook. You did? Cool. I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking at the Hobby Panda. I'm so impatient waiting for shipment, laughing out loud. Hey, man, you want to talk about impatient? Well, this is impatient and upset. I got one for y'all. Now, you know, if you don't pay shipping and you're getting it shipped free, you can't really complain, you know, to be realistic. If you buy something online and they're shipping it for free, you can't really go, well, God, I wish they'd hurry up. Well, you ain't paying to get it shipped. Like that teal, yeah, like that teal copper rust green color. Cool, I can't wait to see them. But like I said, I believe that's what my next one might be. Either a 1/24th scale Axial SEX 24, either the Jeep or the new Chevy pickup body one. Or I'm going to probably go with one of the Panda Hobby ones. Like either the Power Wagon, the Jeep, or what looks to be a Dodge Ram Charger. Looks like a Bronco on the side, but the front of it, the grill, makes it look like a Dodge Ram Charger. But anyway, what I was saying about shipping is, to me, if you're getting it for free, I don't really complain. Remember when I told you I won that $80 on YouTube channel 7 Outdoors? It's been over a month. The guy never messaged me back. Yeah. Now that I would be upset because you won something and he's a YouTuber and he's got a channel. He should be wanting to keep his, you know, people coming back watching his videos. He should be trying to, you know, get it out in a decent amount of time, or contacting you and go, hey man, I just been real busy with life. I apologize. I'm headed to the post to get that out to you this week. You know, give you a reason. Now I'm going to tell you, when you order stuff from China, anywhere in Asia, anywhere like that, overseas, yeah, I expect shipping to take longer. Yeah, if you're not paying for it, you shouldn't complain if it takes 30 days for shipping. After I asked about it on the giveaway video, he disabled comments. Wow. In other words, basically, he clickbaited people in thinking he was doing a giveaway, and then he backed out of the giveaway. That's like somebody putting up a video and the thing up on the channel is a drone. And they say, video drone giveaway. And you come on there and you click on it, and they do a video saying they're going to give away this drone, and then 6 months later you haven't received it. Yeah, that would piss you off. Yeah, and you use Tackle Warehouse, and it's title on that video. Wow, man. But now, what I was getting back to what I was saying about the shipping, being mad when it's free and not free, whatever. I got some stuff I ordered December 9th from wish.com. I had to pay shipping for it. This is why I'm upset. I had to pay shipping. And it said when you pay the shipping, you'll get updates and you'll get tracking and all that. Okay, this was December the 9th when I ordered it. I had one giveaway on my fishing channel. I gave a lot of baits away. It has been, okay, you look at it. Today is January the 14th. I ordered 3 items, paid shipping on all 3 of them from wish.com back December the 9th. Here it is, January the 14th. I have not received any of those 3 items. When you go online and you look it up on the Wish site, it tells me originally they were going to be here December the 31st and January the 1st for the 3 items. One of them was going to be December 31st. The other 2 were going to be January 1st. They didn't get here by then. Well, then they reamp it on their site in the history where my order is. And they say they're going to be here the 8th and the 7th. The 7th and the 8th. Well, guess what? The 7th and 8th came and gone. They still didn't make it here. I used the tracking. The tracking has not been updated since December 17th, when all 3 items made it to the Chinese airport. In other words, all 3 items made it to the China airport December the 17th. Here it is, January the 14th. They still aren't here, but they have not updated their tracking. So I can't find out anything about where they might be. The last thing is they were at the China airport on December the 17th. 3 days from now, and that means a month since they made it to the airport, and they're still not here. A month since they made it to the airport, basically, and they're still not here. My fiance doesn't mind using Wish because of time. By the time they get here, it's a surprise because she forgot she was ordering something. Well, see, what gets me and my girlfriend are trying to blame this one on the Christmas holidays. Yeah, mainly. Maybe they got overwhelmed during Christmas. And that's the reason my stuff's so late. But as you can see, they definitely aren't good at tracking their packages. Because ever since December 17th, it has been stuck on the same tracking saying my packages have made it to the China airport. Or it says the origin country's airport, which is the China airport. Okay, if they made it there the 17th, if they've left there at all and started towards me, you should have updated it somewhere since the 17th. You know, that's the only thing I'm mad about. You didn't update the tracking because it says the 17th. Don't tell me they've been sitting in your airport for 30 days. You know, they got there the 17th to the airport, and they've been sitting at customs in the airport for 30 days. I mean, are they ever going to ship out? I'm thinking I'm going to have to contact them. Because, seriously, it's starting to make me wonder. None of the other Chinese sites I've ever bought from have been this slow about saying something. Because their packages then go to the post office and then get tracked. Yeah, but like I said, my tracking, I click on the tracking number, and when I do the search on it, when it takes me to the site, it tells me that they're supposed to be coming to me. It's got my town right. It's got my state right. It's got my country right. But it tells me that December the 17th, they arrived at the origin country's airport. But it won't tell me anything new. It's been telling me that ever since December the 17th. That's what I'm saying. Shouldn't it have updated if it left the airport and went to the post to actually be mailed to me? Or if it came from the post to the airport to be mailed out to the airport, shouldn't it say something? I mean, I looked at the tracking and I can't, just can't find any more information out. It's just like, okay, it'll just be there when it gets there, and you have to be and hope it, finally makes it. That was like my girlfriend. She ordered something online one time, and where we live at, it should have came from this town. It came straight to us. No, they rerouted it from this town out of South Carolina, took our order over to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and then brought it back into South Carolina, and then brought it to us. And this was from like somewhere like FedEx. I'm sitting here going, really? You guys are supposed to be some of the top dogs in the business. Yeah, why would you take something that's already in South Carolina, and instead of just coming from this spot in South Carolina over to this spot, which at the time I could have drove up there and got it in an hour and a half time. But no, instead of sending it to me, they sent it to Philadelphia and then route it back around to me. It's crazy, man. Now, something I'm going to throw out at Massive Cloud and Shin and the other person that's on here. I thought about doing up this later time. I ordered something and I paid 2 days shipping, waited a week, and contacted me, and they told me 2 days starts from the time it's in the U.S. to my location. But it could take a month to get to the U.S. Wow. Yeah, if you do 2 days shipping, you in your thoughts, your brain, what you think 2 days shipping is 2 days shipping from the time I order it to my house. That's what you think 2 day shipping should be. That's why a lot of times I won't pay that big price for 2 days shipping. I've seen this one. This is the one I love. I've seen this one. I saw one on one site. I'm not going to name the site, but it's a Chinese site. 7 to 15 days or 7 to 20 business days. And it'll say $1.82 or $2.82 or $3.82, whatever, $3.50 to get it to you. 7 to 15 or 7 to 20 business days. And I look over here, and the one that you pay $25 for to get it shipped is the same amount of time. What's up, man? But yeah, and the other one's the same amount of time. And I'm like, wait a minute. I can get it for like $3 and something or less shipping in this amount of time. But yet down here, no. I don't have nothing that big and expensive. My biggest ones are my 1/10 scales. The only Traxxas I even own is my Traxxas Scully, which is 2-wheel drive Stampede 1/10 scale. That's the only Traxxas I even own. I've got one Traxxas RC. The Traxxas Scully 2-wheel drive Stampede, which I do like a lot. I would love to have me like a 1/5 scale, like a Losi short course truck. But yeah, if I was going to get something like 1/8 or 1/5, it hit 58. Cool. Nice. Yep. Shin's right. Losi makes some nice 1/5 scale. But yeah, I kind of like, the 1/8 scales, by Armor. I like them as well. The 1/10 system in my Stampede 4-wheel drive is a ZTW Beast 1/10 brushless 4000 kV system with a 60 amp ESC. Nice. Me, like I said, I like the. I'm more into the short course trucks. I need a garage for gas or nitro. Currently not in the living conditions. Only 1/5 gas. Well, you look at Armor. You could get one of those Armor short course trucks. One of those that's got 1/8 scale. They're electric, and I've heard they're really tough. Yeah, and like Shin says, they do have some 1/5 scale lipo powered. They're not all nitro. I've never even owned an Armor. Laughing out loud. Hey, I've heard nothing but good things about them. To be honest, a lot of my YouTubers that I talk to say they're great. I have 8 cars, but you got RC. Laughing out loud. When is having too many RC cars too much? When you can't fit them in your house. Oh yeah, here you go. When you can't go to bed because your RCs take up your bed as well. There you go. Then you might have a few too many. Well, baby, I'm sorry I can't come to bed with you tonight. I got to have somewhere to put the RCs. I'm gonna put them on my side of the bed. Yeah, then you might have a problem. I mean, because to be honest, I'm budget guy RC. I live on a budget, but I've got more than what I need. Now that I've heard that's just a massive beast. The Armor Creighton 8S 1/5 scale. I've heard that thing is just nothing but a beast, a pure monster. Yeah, I mean, what was it when I did the talk? Somebody asked me how many RCs I had, and I said it was like 25. 8 cars is plenty for me. If I buy a ninth car, it'll either be a Rustler 4x4, an X Max, or a Creighton 8S. Hey, those are good choices. You probably couldn't go wrong with any of those three. I mean, because you have the X Max. The X Max is just a beast basher. I mean, I've watched people launch that thing 30, 40 feet in the air and barely do any damage to them. And the Rustler, I mean, come on. They're legendary. But more legendary in 2-wheel drive. But, the Creighton, they look to be just bad A. I wanted to get the Traxxas X01 or the Armor Limitless. Then when you get that, you will want another afterwards. Yeah. The X Max will be for bashing if I ever do get one, or the Creighton 8S. Of course, it's more of a truggy style basher. You change the wheels on that thing and put more street tires on it, and that thing's just gonna zoom. Just buy the primal RC Raminator and park it in the kitchen. In regards to our aerodynamics for speed, I think the new, yeah, it's a monster. If you want speed, if you want bashability, yeah, the Traxxas X Max is probably going to be the better of basher ones. But if you want something that you can bash, plus you got the ability to launch it down that road and really get some good speeds out of it, I would say go for the Arrma. Get that Kraton 8S. Because think about it. You put some street tires on that thing, oh man, what kind of speed you could probably get out of it. The fastest X Max I've seen on YouTube was 90 something mile an hour. That's a little fast for bashing. I just see the Kraton being the faster one. Yeah. Yeah, you put it on the highway. You find you a good clear spot, where you can go run it. Yeah. Hold up to the speed like an E-Revo. Yeah, the Arrma Typhoon. Yeah, that's a sick looking machine. I really like the look of it. If you want the speed, just get the X01 or the Arrma Infraction. Yeah, the one that kind of looks like the Formula, the F1, Formula One style. That thing looks like a massive speed demon. Yeah, insane for speed. The Infraction is not something you're going to want to do the bashing with more. Yeah, I'd agree with that. The Kraton, in all essence, is a bigger E-Revo. Yeah, I could agree with you on that one. And E-Revo is just famous for being a basher, but can throw its weight around a little bit in speed. But the Rustler was always one of their fastest. And that's the one everybody put on the road and made into speed demons was the Rustler. The Rustlers or the Slash or the Bandits. Those were the main ones everybody modded and made speed demons out of. For bashing, you generally went with the Summit, the E-Revo, until the X-Max came out. But that Kraton, or that Typhoon, that's one I see that you could change wheels and tires on it, put a bigger battery in it, and do more speed runs with it. The other ones, and otherwise, you could just bash it with the original stuff that comes in it. I only own Traxxas because of part support. Yeah, I have a 2-wheel drive Rustler and a Bandit. I own Traxxas and Arrma. Associated just come out with a new 1/10 basher truck, kind of like the X Max. Yeah, that would be something to see. 100 mile an hour on a 6S Kraton or the 8S. I have a Rustler with more money in it than I would ever get out of it. Small fortune. I've seen the Limitless from Arrma hit over 135 to 145 mile an hour. Oof. It's bad when an RC car can outrun a bunch of real cars. You know? Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't want to get hit by something doing 150 mile an hour. No, Stampedes don't hold up to speed that well. I think the most I can get my Stampede four-wheel drive up to probably 60, 63. I can just imagine. I've seen some of those videos where guys are running their nitro trucks or they're running their other trucks, and they're only doing maybe 20, 25, 30, and they hit somebody. And you see that person immediately just go to the ground. It just takes them down. Now, that's 25, 35 mile an hour. Could you imagine getting hit by 150 mile an hour RC? Yeah, my boy, Mr. High Power, he's on YouTube. He's got a Slash 4x4. Hits over 155 mile an hour. 168 mile an hour Slash. To be honest, now, everybody has their different niche in the RC world. To be honest, me, the only way I'd want to sink that kind of money into an RC is if it was going to be a short course truck for actually racing at a racetrack. Ever seen that X01 video that gets there and hits the bridge? No, I've never seen the one where it hit a bridge at 100 mile an hour. I've seen some people, hitting like 98 and 99, 100, 101 with an XO, but never one hitting a bridge. Yeah, like I said, to each their own. Everybody has different things they like to really focus on. Me, I'm not that focused on doing 95, 100 mile an hour. If I'm going to put that much money in an RC vehicle, I would rather it be like on tires, shocks, motor ESC combination, different springs, stuff like that for racing one, and go race short course trucks or go race buggies. Shatters in 500 pieces. Well, I think this was part of the chassis. This might have been part of the bumper. This might have been. Yeah. Let's see. Think about it. That thing right there. You wreck something at that kind of speed. The damage it does, man. Oh. The money it's going to cost to put that thing back together. I mean, any of them, once they wreck at that kind of speed. I mean, I know you can break anything running anything. I mean, I hit a two-wheel drive buggy with a two-wheel drive short course truck and destroyed the buggy. And I wasn't doing but about 22 mile an hour. So I can imagine something hitting something at 50 to 100 mile an hour. Most of my cars are bashers, but I use the majority of them for strictly street line speed runs. Cool. That's something I always wanted that I've never had. An E-Revo. I've never had the 1/16th or the 1/10th. I always wanted one because to me it was the standard because you had some speed with it, but it was a great basher. And it was four-wheel drive. And to me, four-wheel drive is just easier to control. You take off going forward. It's just easier to keep that thing, to me, straighter when it's four-wheel drive than a two-wheel drive. My Tamiya Hornet's faster, laughing out loud. Now, is that faster when you drop it out of a plane? Is that when the Hornet's faster? You drop it out of the plane and it drops like a Hornet? My transmitter died while my Russell was running 70-ish, and that was enough for me. Yeah. Imagine a runaway, though. You get one, you got it doing like 95 mile an hour down the road, and it just loses connection with the transmitter, and it plows into a parked car or whatever, or plows into a curve, 70, 80 mile an hour, nothing left. The 1/16 is an awesome platform for speed or bashing, specifically on an E-Revo. Yeah. No, when I am floored in my Z28 and chuck it out the window laughing out loud. Yeah, I knew it needed some help. So that's its secret turbo boost. You drop it from a plane, or you drop it out of the window of a Z28 wide open. And that's the Hornet turbo boost. May not be nothing left of the Hornet afterwards, but yeah, it got there quick. But yeah, that is something. That is still one of the RCs that I have never got that I wanted. That was a dream RC. Yeah, I've had transmitters die in my RC, smash into concrete or in front of cars. I love the stock Traxxas Talon wheels with the Gemini rims on the E-Revo 1/16. It looks awesome. Now I mainly bash. So once you hit a few cars and a few curves and busted them up, you changed it to bashing instead of speed runs. Massive Clouds. Hey, I love the Hornet. It won't never get thrown out of my Z28's window. Now, don't get me wrong, Shin. I like Tamiya. As you can see, I've got this CCO one here. I've got that other CCO one with a Jeep body on, new bright Jeep body on it. I've got the Sand Rover, the Tamiya Sand Rover. And, it's only running, that little 370, little 380 motor that comes in it stock, but I still like it. I love the looks of that little buggy. Plus I've got, what is it? I think it's a TLO1. I may be saying that wrong, but I think that's the one I have. The TLO1. So, I've got a few Tamiyas or Tamayas, whatever. My biggest problem with Tamiya is price, Phillips screws, and friction shocks. If you're going to charge me a big price for a kit, add $5 or $10 to the price of that kit and just go ahead and put me oil-filled shocks in it. Or put me some oil and some shocks that I can put it into. Change the screws from Phillips head to, better screws. Yeah, you break one part and you got to buy the whole tree. You can't just get one part. There's only a few things I hate about Tamiya, and that's just a couple of things. Don't get me wrong, I still love them. Yeah, I can't stand Phillips screws. Because how many Phillips screws have you stripped out compared to hex screws? To be honest. I've got hex screws I've taken on and off RCs and messed around with and don't remember stripping a one. But yet, the Phillips screws, and the ABS from the 80s. But don't get me wrong. As far as a basher goes, it is still a tough vehicle. You look at the Tamiyas, they stand up for a reason. I mean, you look at the Hornets. People go out and just bash the snot out of them things and rarely break them. But for the price, yeah, Phillips screws and Loctites don't go well together. No. Never. I don't remember ever putting Loctite on Phillips, but yeah, that's definitely a no-no with Phillips screws. Now, here's what gets me. Okay, Tamiya had the CCO1. Everybody loved. Except for that wonky butt steering that nobody cares for. The steering was, if you think back to the CC01, the worst two things about the CC01 are the hard plastic tires. Basically, they feel like just plastic. They don't even feel rubber. They're so hard. Some of them on the stock ones. They've gotten better over the years, but the original ones, the hard tires. They felt like plastic instead of rubber. And the steering is just so sloppy. But yeah, going slow, it doesn't matter as much because it's on a trail truck. Imagine if it had that steering on all the Tamias. That's the only kind of steering. Who wants to pay $50 for an upgrade kit when they just spent all this money to buy it and build it? Now you've got to strip everything off of it so you can put this upgrade to your steering. That's my biggest complaint on that. If I bought this kit, I put it together. I waited to get ball bearings in. I put all the ball bearings in it because you only give me bushings with the kit. I put ball bearings in it, and I've got the kit up and running. And I noticed the steering's wonky. Then I got to turn around and strip the whole car back down to basically the whole front end off the car to go and fix the steering and buy this $50 upgrade kit from them. You know. Well, I give you plastic bushings. That's what I'm talking about. Bearings aren't that expensive. The Tamiya Lunchbox looks like a cool car. Yeah, it's cool, but you got to do mods to it to make it something really, to make it nice. I mean, it's cool, and it's deal, but the wheels are like this or like this when you're driving it because the way it is, there's so much slop in it. I had a mail carrier stop and tell me about the Clodbusters back in the 80s and how he would add a 7th battery to the pack to make it faster. But yeah, to me, it could at least step up. And I was hoping they would do it when they made the CC02. They come out with a CC02 chassis. I was hoping they would step up and really make some improvements on that. They still give it, I'm not trying to be mean, they still give it crappier tires. Yeah, they're rock blocks or whatever. They're a little bit better than the hard rubber compound that comes on the original CC01. But they're still not that great compared to other tires. And then they want to put bushings with all their kits. Throw some cheap bearings in there. My quads run 20-turn motors on a LiPo. They top out at 16. Wide open 16 mile an hour, huh? On a LiPo. Yeah, they're definitely not built for speed, are they? They're more of a good-looking basher or shelf queen. Oh, I didn't say they wasn't fun. I mean, most of my RCs are, stock as far as speed-wise go. I have to be going 40 or more to get real fun out of my cars. I've never seen a Clodbuster in person. The only thing I've ever seen is on here or on websites. On the computer, in other words. Never seen one in real life. But and that's cool, Gorilla Bear Tech. I mean, you love the speed. That's your niche. You love the speed demons. Clods work good in the snow also. Cool. Good thing to know. Me, I'm more of the trail trucks, crawlers. I like the bash, but 20 mile an hour out in the front yard bashing, that's cool. 20 mile an hour, out in some mud trying to bash it around, that's cool. The only reason I want to be able to do more than 20 mile an hour is if I'm upgrading a short course truck and I'm going to go to some racetrack nearby and try to race it. Now, Tamiya, one of the ones I always wanted was the Fast Attack. I always wanted one of them. Never got one. I finally did get the Sand Rover. That one I really wanted. I had a couple CCO ones. I had the TT, what is it, TTL, the LO1 or TTO1 or TLO1 or whatever it is. I've got that one. I took and put that Bronco body up on and used it as a light trail truck. I think it's the TLO1. So I've got, 4 Tamiyas. But I always wanted a fast attack. They are nice. Get one. Forget about the SCX24. Yeah, but that's kind of hard to do. Because the good thing about that SCX24 is, like people say, being this size makes it so much easier to run in your house if it's bad weather outside and you can't get out or don't feel like getting out. So much easier to run this in the house than it is to run that fast attack in the house. But I see what you're saying. It is a sweet looking vehicle. Like I said, I always wanted one of the fast attacks. No. What would you say, Steve? Or Shin? What would you say? 12 to 15 mile an hour? Stock? Roughly? Maybe 12 to 15? Somewhere in that range? A stock one? So I'm asking Shin RC. Fast attack. About 12 to 15 mile an hour stock. A little more, a little less. Well, I mean, I understand, you put a lipo in it to give it a little bit more oomph. Or make sure you use a 7-cell nickel metal, so you get a little more oomph in the beginning. I wasn't talking about going crazy with it. I'm just saying, unless you put brushless, you're not getting big speeds, out of them generally. I don't know about the price, but they've been around forever, so you don't have any problem with part support as far as I know. And it's nothing like building an RC. I mean, I'm going to admit it. I built that Sand Rover, and it was like nothing I'd ever done. It took me back to my model car building days. When I built my Tamiya Sand Rover, that's what it reminded me of. I was like, wow, man, this feels like I'm building a model car. But the only difference is this one's going to run when I get done. Yeah. Well, if you like building model cars, building them, painting them, doing them up or whatever, or not painting them, just look at the Tamiyas that already come a certain color. If you don't want the trouble of painting, if you just want to build. Like, I brought the Sand Rover version. It comes white. I put mine blue. You can go with instead of getting the Sand Rover, you can go with the Tamiya like Street Rover, and it comes with a green body, so it's already painted. You can get different ones like the limited edition Lunchbox. You can get it in a black, get it in a blue, you can get it in a red, you can get it where it's already painted up so you don't have to paint them. You can look through the kits and pick one that says it's already been painted for you if you don't want to paint. But if you love that part too, then you buy one. You get it cheaper because it hasn't been painted, or the body's, and the body's just clear, and then you do everything. Me, I just wanted the Sand Rover because I grew up on a cartoon about a little dune buggy that talked when I was a kid growing up. It was called he was called Speedy. It was a little dune buggy that talked, and his driver looked a lot like Shaggy, but with long straight hair. Instead of kind of curly hair, it was longer and straighter. And there was like 4 or 5 characters, just like on the Scooby-Doo cast. It was called Speed Buggy. That's what it was called. And they called him Speedy. And he was a little dune buggy. And that's what I grew up watching that show. So when I saw the Sand Rover, I knew I had to have one. Tamiya's are like model cars, but even more fun to build. Yeah, like I said, a Tamiya is like a model car, but more fun to build because you know once you get it built, you can take that outside and run it. Yeah, they have they have the Scorcher, they have the Monster Beetle, and then they have the Blitzer Beetle. So Shin RC remembers Speed Buggy. Speed Buggy, vroom vroom vroom, vroom vroom vroom. I used to love watching that show as a kid. That Scooby Doo, 2 of my all time favorite cartoons. And when I saw the Sand Rover, I was like, man, I got to get one of these. I've got to own one. I wanted, when I first bought it, I kind of wanted to paint it in Speed Racer. Yeah, I kind of wanted to paint it up like Speed Buggy. But then I was like, no, I'm going to do something different with this one. I had a little toy back, I don't know, 25 years ago, that you put a battery in and it would go. The lunchbox. Yeah, the one that was like, I think it was like a 132? Something about like that. I've seen those. Different ones from Tamiya back then. About like that. I've seen some of those. But yeah, if you like building model cars, you would love the RC building from a Tamiya because once you get it built, you actually get to go drive it. But if you don't want to fool with the cutting and trimming, say on a body that you got to cut and trim, you might not want certain kits. Well, Tamiya, at least most of them are generally already ready for you. All you got to do is, wash them off, maybe do some light sanding to help make the paint stick. They make a new, smaller lunch box now, radio control, like the one you have. Now, Shin, I'm going to throw this one back at you, and Massive Clouds. I'm going to throw this at you, too. Now, I come up with a thought. I might check that out. Be cool to have. Yeah. I come up with a thought when we were talking about my little short walk from my front porch down to that fishing hole. And I'm thinking, loading that kayak up into a big pickup truck just to drive down there and put it in the water. That kind of sounds like a pain. Load it up in the pickup truck, drive down there in the big truck, waste the gas, unload it, then put it back in, drive it back home, put it away, blah, blah, blah. Or putting it up on the roof rack type thing on the station wagon, my Subaru Outback, and tying it down and taking it down there. I thought about this. Get me a new battery for my 4-wheeler. Maybe do this at tax time is what I'm thinking. Get me a new battery for my 4-wheeler possibly. Put some new tires on it because the tires on it are shot. Get batteries and tires for my 4-wheeler and come up with some kind of trailer, whether it be homemade or be bought, that I can haul behind my 4-wheeler and just put my kayak on this said trailer thing, makeshift trailer, strap it down, haul it behind the 4-wheeler. That way I just go out there, hook the trailer up to the 4-wheeler, take the kayak from the back porch, pull it off the porch, put it onto this trailer, hook it up to the 4-wheeler, and then just crank the 4-wheeler up and drive on down there, pull up, circle around, slide the kayak off into the water. Can't you make 2 wheels that fit on the back of the kayak and just walk it down there? Yeah, I just got to figure out how I would have to make probably like what, probably 2 mountain bike. Yeah, they make some that mount to it. I know what you're talking about, but those are those little bitty, like hard. To me, they're hard tires, like what you would have on the push more like that size. And you have to take out them two, the back plugs that I've got in there to keep the water from coming in. You got to take most of them. You got to take those two out because they go up through those holes, and then the strap comes up over the top of it and mounts it. What I was thinking about doing, cool. What I was thinking about doing was taking a piece of wood, say about wider than a kayak, a couple of bicycle wheels or something like that, or lawnmower wheels. You'd have to get some kind of piece of like axle coming out on each side, to bolt them up to or whatever. And then just set the kayak up there and have the straps, like some hooks on the pieces of wood right here on the outer edge, and have straps come up and just come over it. But yeah, I definitely I want to look into something like that. But yeah, you're right. The hardest part would be getting up. There's a little hill. Yeah, that would work as close as you're to the water hole. That's what I'm talking about. Just make something cheap with a couple of bicycle wheels if I can find something, and something like a piece of wood, and you got the kayak sitting up on it. You got it strapped down with like some bungee cords or tie down straps or whatever, and then you either pull it behind the 4-wheeler, or like Shin says, you grab a hold to the front handle. You got the wheels at the back, and you just roll it behind you. You just already got your rod sitting in the rod holder, your tackle box sitting in it. And the reason I said the bicycle wheels was to give it a little bit higher ground clearance, because when you get down there to where it goes around that curve, it goes up on an embankment, probably about 2.5 feet tall, and I think the kayak would scrub every time you went up it with those smaller wheels on the kit that y'all were talking about, on that Master Cloud was talking about. I think the kayak would scrub as you were trying to go up with those littler wheels. But with the one I'm talking about trying to make with bicycle wheels, it would have plenty of height. I just said pull it with the 4-wheeler, one, because, if you want to be lazy about it, and plus it gives you an excuse to ride the 4-wheeler. Hey, I'm going to crank the 4-wheeler up and go fishing. You hook up to the back of it, haul it down there, drop the kayak off, pull your key out of your 4-wheeler, go fish for a couple of hours, run back up there, slide it back up and put it and tie it up, hop on your 4-wheeler and bring it back home. Or the rear wheels. Yeah, those bigger rear wheels. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like your 16-inch or 20-inch BMX wheels, or like he said, your lawnmower wheels, even off of a Pushmore that has the big back wheels. 10-inch ones. Yeah, you got to at least have 10-inch or bigger. Say somewhere between like a 10 and 12 would be real good. And then you got your wood, your base for it, like this, and you got those wheels mounted up like this, and you come right here and you got something coming up off the wood where you can hook on your straps, and then you set your kayak, you get it up there where it doesn't just do this like crazy. You get it where you want it, and then you just strap it down, and then you either grab a hold of the handle, but you gotta have it more. You gotta have the kayak more forward on the wheels if you're just going to lift up on it and tote it behind you, because you don't want to be scraping the back end of it and dragging the back end of it while you're rolling it. But if you just got it like, if it's going to stay level all the time, and it's going to stay level, like hooking it on the back of a 4-wheeler or something, you could put the kayak at a different position. You'd have to just play around with it, but it's something I'm thinking about between like now in tax time. But you're right. Wouldn't even need my four-wheeler if I put some wheels on there that roll good and they're greased up good and everything. Especially if they're air-filled. That's where I'm thinking about bicycle wheels. The lawnmower ones are those hard plastic, but the bicycle ones being air-filled, it's going to roll just so much smoother and up on that grass and go back into the woods with it, you know, and you just roll it down there, pull it down there, get it where you want it, unstrap it. I'm making you want a kayak, laughing out loud. Hey. Made Shin RC want one too. He ended up buying one. So now, wishing I was fishing 73, he's got them. I've got one. Now Shin RC's got one. Your next, Massive Clouds, come over to the kayak world. To be honest, my friend, I was going to go with the inflatable pontoon that you can buy. But the money amount was the reason I went with the kayak. I could have a kayak for $150, $200 and then do some stuff to it and go fish out of it. Or I could go get this inflatable pontoon, which has got a pontoon here, and then you strap down the seat, the tray that holds your gear and everything. And then you got like 2 oars or 2 paddles, one here, and then you paddle out to where you want to go. And it's got this thing it gives you like with a little bag that you can put rocks in, and you just drop it off the back as an anchor. But those run anywhere between, I think, $350 and $500. My new kayak, first ever, and now I have to bring it out on top of my new Beetlebug. Freaking kayak is bigger than the car, and the Bug's roof is round, so I don't know how it will work. Yeah, that may be a little bit difficult. Yeah, it won't be long. Fishing Buddy's talking about selling his boat and getting a kayak, so I know it's going to happen before spring. Laughing out loud, kayak on a Beetle. Hey, it can be done. That's for sure. It depends on how damaged it's going to do it, but you could come up with a right way where you come over the roof with a strap. The strap comes inside the car, ties in the car, but nothing that's going to hurt your interior. Make sure you do it right. So you got it strapped up here at the top. Then you go from the front and maybe tie something down towards the bumper area, if it's available. And do the same from the back. That way you got it across the top here. You got the front and the back. So it's not sitting here doing this as you're going down the road. And then you got the side. You got it covered on both sides, so it's not trying to do this either. I tied mine like 6 different places when I brought it home on top of my Outback. I had it like tied here, tied over here, tied here, tied here. And then I had it going to the front and it to the back end. Yeah, I bought these 2 padded strap things that go on the roof and you strap the kayak on, but I never tried it yet because I got the kayak in the cold time of the year. True. Shin's kayak is going to be in someone's windshield, laughing out loud. Ooh. Just kidding. I hope not. Massive Clouds. That's what I keep thinking, laughing out loud. Oh, man. Oh, Massive Clouds, man. You brought tears to my eyes with that one. Oh, seriously. I had to wipe my eyes, man. They watered up out of that one. That was good. Yeah, can you imagine that? You stop at the red light. You see that bright red kayak fly off the roof of the Volkswagen and over here into the across the intersection into the next car's window. Yeah, that's what I keep thinking of. New State Farm commercial, laughing my ass off. I blame Budget Garcia. He made me get a kayak. Yeah, I took a surprise trip from the United States to Canada, twisted Shen's arm, and told him he better have a kayak the next time I see him on YouTube. It worked, laughing out loud. Yeah, it did. He got a good deal for what he got. He got a good deal. I mean, if you can get a kayak for $150, I mean, that's something you can fish out of. It may not be a fishing kayak, but it's something you can fish out of. Yep. I recommended he either get a Lifetime Daylight, which was like 8 foot, or I recommended that he get the Lifetime Tahoma, which is the neon green bright monster I've got. Yep, gets you in places you can't fish from the bank. Plus, generally, when you're standing on the bank, you got to worry about this tree beside you, this tree behind you, and this tree behind you. You got to worry about a bunch of trees around you. When you out there in the water, it's generally the only thing you got to worry about is if you throw up in the cover and getting hung up. But you ain't got to worry about it from beside you or behind you. It's at least it's 8 foot. Oh yeah, a place I was working at when I bought my 10 foot, the Lifetime Tahoma, a guy working there heard about me buying mine, and I told him about the kayaks over there at Walmart, and I told him they had some in stock. I said, go take a look. And he was like, yeah, I was going to get me a boat, but my wife got pregnant, and we're fixing to have a baby, and I don't want to put that amount of money into a boat right now because we got a baby on the way, and she's not going to be fishing with me now that she's pregnant and everything. I'll be going by myself. He said, so I'm looking for a kayak as well. He left work that day, went over to Walmart, and that's when he found the Daylight. They had them in stock. They didn't have them when I went. They had the Tahoma and the bigger ones, the more expensive ones than the Tahoma. Is all they had when I was there. He went and they had the Daylight in, and he got the Daylight one. And he was like, man, it's like 8 foot, man. This thing's light as all get out. He said it's only like 30 pounds, 32 pounds. So he really loved the fact that it was so light. He said it wasn't nothing for him to move around by himself. And he said, plus, being the fact it's only around 32 pounds, plus with it only being 8 foot, it made it a lot easier for him to slide up and get up on his car and strap it down. Yeah, I like it for the room. I like its room because you have more room for your gear, more room for your weight and stuff like that. A little bit more weight it can handle. And I like the color because it makes you visible. You're on the water on that. I don't care what color the water is, muddy, clear. If somebody can't see you in a neon green kayak, there's a problem. But to be honest, if I'd have had the money, I might would have went with the inflatable pontoon style boat. You know, that's just for one fisherman. Because it comes in a big bag and you take it and you load it into your trunk of your car. Excuse me, throw it in your back seat of your car, whatever. Haul it down to the water, unzip it, set it out, blow up the 2 pontoons, strap everything on it, and put it in the water. I will be catching fish and they will be on my lap in the 8-foot kayak, basically. Whereas me, I got a little more room in front of me. I could actually lay them up in front of that little tray I've got. I could have them right there. I could bring them up and land them right there. You know, and then bring them to me and, yeah, take them off the hook. I've even got room up front in between my legs. I could add, you know, some kind of like minnow bucket or something. You know, I'd have room for a minnow bucket to sit up there, up in front of me. That's why I like the inflatable boat, but it was uncomfortable to sit in. Well, I can't believe that the inflatable one was uncomfortable. What, because you were like this, so low? You felt like you were laying down in it? Yeah. Gorilla Bear Tech. No, Marshall. If you're talking to me, Gorilla Bear Tech, my name's Marshall. If you're talking, yeah. Hey, it's cool. And do I have a boat? No Speed Demon boat, but I do have a boat. I have an old cheap one that has the long antenna radio, you know, to it. Has the dual little like 360 motors or 380 motors with dual props. I've got an old white one that's probably about 2 foot long, but like that. Probably run about 15, 20 on the water. It's not a Speed Demon, but it's okay. I need to check and see if the battery is still any good to it, because me and another guy was talking about that would be a good spot. Remote Addicted RC told me that would be a good spot to take a boat, you know, RC boat down there at the lake where I live. And I'm like, well, yep. And I do have one, but it's not the fastest. I just haven't taken it down there yet because I haven't gotten it out of storage, basically out of the closet, and checked to see if the battery's still any good for it. I don't have any brushless boats yet. I have some brushless boats. Brushless are faster than the RC cars. Yeah, I've still got that little. Well, it's a big one. It's a jet ski that you can put a Barbie or a Ken size figure on. I mean, this thing's about probably that big old jet ski. It's not fast, but you can put a rider on it. I had the jet ski. I ran it one time. I put a used Barbie up on it just to run it. But my other white boat, it's about 2 foot long too, but it's not fast. They're somewhere between, you know, maybe 15, 18 mile an hour at the most, in my opinion. But I want to get me a brushless. I want to get something about like this, about a 17-inch boat, you know, that'll at least run about 25. What's awesome is pulling a 56 mile an hour wheelie with a Traxxas / 4x4 short course truck on 3S, geared on Mod 1 gears. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the speed. Me, like I said, I enjoy the trail. That's why I've got more trail and crawl trucks than I've got anything, you know. You know. Some people love the speed. Some people love the trailing. Some people just love to get out and bash them, you know, to see what they can take until they break. And some people love the boats, and some people love to fly. Talk about trash at the ponds. Yeah. Trash at ponds, trash at that lake. It just made me sick when I walked down there because I didn't take any Walmart bags with me. I didn't take anything with me because I wasn't expecting trash. You know, right down here where I live, I wasn't expecting to find trash down there. So I didn't carry no trash bags. I didn't carry no Walmart bags with me. I heard a guy killed a duck over here where I reside. He took his RC boat to a duck pond going 100 miles an hour or more and he clipped a duck. Wow. Yeah, it's not funny. I mean, you're out there killing nature because your boat's so fast and you lost control of it. You know, but stop gnawing your front paws, girl. My dog gnawing on the front paws. Well, one of my dogs. Sweetie. She's a big baby. Who's a bigger baby? Bert. See, that's what you get for gnawing on your paws so much. Licking and licking and licking and gnawing on your paws. In my latest video, you will see a hockey stick by my tackle box. Last year, I seen in the water a full-size hockey goal post, net, and inside it was filled with red bags and hockey gear. Oh, I can't tell, big time trail guy. Yeah, that's my favorite niche is the trail trucks. Next would be the short course trucks. I love going to watch them see them race. I just love seeing them things get air coming off of a ramp. The RC trail, the RC, short course trucks getting the air, big air, or a buggy getting big air. I've even gone to some oval tracks and watched them race different short course trucks, buggies. Oh, they do the dirt looking style cars, the midgets and stuff like that. But yeah, this is Sweetie, one of the dogs. The other one, he's asleep in the room with his mom. The ice was half melted, and I was saying, why are they leaving it there? The ice is melting. And sure enough, when I went back, the ice was gone, and it all sunk in the water. What losers. Yep. Most ponds I try to fish in, I pick up trash. That way I continue to fish there. Sucks to have to pick up after lazy people. Thanks, man. Yep, she is a cute one. She's a sport one. She thinks she's got to be. As soon as I cut this off and get off of this and turn and look at her, she'll look at me, she'll whine, and then she'll want to be petted. She's real spoiled. So is the other one, but he's, like I said, he's in his mama's room right now, asleep in there with her. He's in his mom's bedroom right now, asleep with mommy. And Sweetie decided to be in here with Daddy. We got Sweetie and we got Shaggy. But yeah, man, I mean, the trash. But like I was saying, the next time I go down to this lake spot right down here at my house, I'm probably going to take a couple Walmart bags and just crumble them up and put them in one of the pockets in my tackle box. Take them with me. And when I get down there, either before I start fishing or when I get done, maybe pick up, them beer cans, empty them out first if they got any water in them or whatever from the rain. Put them in the bag. Maybe pick up a couple of other things that I see right close near the water. That way, it's not as easy for it to get blown in the water. But see, people don't stop and think. Hey, the landowner could come by and see that and be like, And he could end up putting a postage sign and putting a sign saying the boats need to be removed from down here and this needs to be done. I don't know who left the boats down there. I don't know whose they are. Like I said, 2 John boats and a canoe. I don't know whose they are. I'm not messing with them. They're not mine. I had 2 pits, but one died from parvo. Oh man, yeah, it's horrific. I've had dogs die from it. I've had dogs that barely survived it. I put a lot of money in one. I had a white German Shepherd Golden Retriever mix. Casper, beautiful white dog, beautiful. He was solid white with a cream streak about this wide down his back from the golden lab. Beautiful dog, and he got parvo. Almost lost him. Spent everything I had. Spent all my extra money I had saving him from parvo. And then he went and got cancer. 7 years old, he got hit with cancer. Had a big old growth on the side of his neck and face, and he wouldn't leave it alone, so I had to have him put down. The doctor said it wouldn't do no good to operate because the dog just wouldn't leave it alone. He was a bad clawer. So I had to have him put down at 7 years old. That was probably the worst thing. One of the worst things I've ever done in my life. Having one of my dogs put down. Cans, rubber gloves, plastic worm containers, lure wrappers, fast food trash, all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, if you stop by Walmart, let's just say, you stop by Walmart, you stop by Bass Pro Shop, you stop by anywhere of those places, and you buy fishing stuff before you go fishing. 9 times out of 10, they put it in a plastic bag for you. So if you're going fishing, leaving one of those places, or you stop at a bass tackle place, and you're picking up your live minnows and your red worms and your night crawlers, and you put them in the bag. They give them to you. You put them in a bag. You go out the door. Where's the bag? Take that trash, put it back in that bag, tie it up, take it with you, and just throw it away. I mean, because you notice most of the time when you go somewhere that sells bait, say, hey man, can you put that in the bag? 9 times out of 10, they got bags. They'll put it in the bag. And if you go to any kind of bait, like a big name place like a Bass Pro Shop or some kind of tackle shop, even if you go to Walmart, your stuff goes in a bag. You just bring that bag with you and use it. Or if you're going fishing and you know you may be having some trash, take a Walmart bag with you. Who don't have Walmart bags? Who doesn't go to Walmart and shop at Walmart here and there or some place where you can get a plastic bag? All you got to do is take one of those and stick them in your tackle box. That way you make sure you clean up your mess. Don't leave a mess behind, then there won't be no messes. Then our lakes and our ponds and our rivers won't look like scum. Worse is when there's a garbage can 15 to 20 feet away and they don't use it. Wow. True. I can't stand it when there's a trash can right nearby and people just leave the trash all around. Yeah. That's like going to a state park and you look 15 feet away from the spot somebody was fishing. There's a big silver can sitting right over here, 2 of them sitting on the thing so they won't blow away, so they won't get knocked over. And all you had to do is walk over there and throw that away. But instead, you just leave the empty container, red worm container, sitting on the ground and walk away. Yep. There's some lazy people in this world. But, I mean, come on, how hard is it to pick up a red worm container? This weighs more than a red worm container. I mean, come on. How hard is it to pick up a red worm container? Pick it up. Walk over here. Drop it in the trash can. You grab your fishing gear up. You grab the container up. You walk over there. You drop that in the trash can. Take your fishing gear to your car. You leave. That's like the ashtrays at the entrance of stores and people throwing them on the ground before walking in the store. or there's whole reels lines all over the freaking ground getting caught in it when you're walking by the water. True. Somebody buys a brand new spool of line. It came in a Walmart bag. They walk down there and they decide to change their line out. They pull all that line off the reel. They cut it and they drop it here beside them. They reel on the new line. If they don't use it all, they save it maybe for making leaders out of it, or they toss it on the ground too. Yeah, they take it off the reel and they throw it. It gets chunked in the water. Worse when it's that braided line. But seriously, if you're going to do your changing your line at the water, you got your line in the bag. You come down, you got your new spool, you pull it out, set the bag down. You take off the old line, throw it on the ground. You spool on the new. You put the spool in your tackle box because you want to save what's left. There's that bag right there that you took that out of. How hard would it have been? Pull that line off, cut it loose, drop it in that bag. You know? Well, see, if you stopped at Walmart and you picked up that spool of line before you went, or at a Bass Pro Shop, it's in a plastic bag. Throw the line in it. Throw the outer packaging to the spool of the new line in it too. Tie that up and then just chunk it away. It's pure laziness. I mean, I'm pretty sure Mr. Bass doesn't want a Bud Light beer can. You know, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want old 8-pound or 6-pound or 10-pound trilene. And I don't want to get hung up in either one of them either. That's like throwing out in the lake trying to catch a fish and you catch a shoe. You don't want that. Throw it away when I get home. Yep. But see, it's easier to just throw the bag and line on the ground. Yep. That's what the majority of them do. You find a plastic bag over here, the fishing line and the empty spool over here, whatever, where they changed it out. And you got all that mess sitting there. And when a hard wind comes up, that mess is 9 times out of 10 going to blow into that water. And then you got crap in the water. But yeah. I'm in hopes to make the worst is when you go fishing and they leave their shopping bag and all the wrappers from the lures they purchased on the ground, scattered all over. Yeah, the Walmart bag sitting here and all the plastic wrappers or whatever where I opened my new lures are laying over here. But really, it would have took, all of 1 minute to pick those back up, put them in that bag, tie that bag up, and pick that bag up, walk away with it. But yeah, I do, like I said, again, I want to try to make this spot because it's so close to me because, that's, walking distance. Yes, it's going to be a good spot to fish off the bank. Now, I do have to watch out when I'm throwing out. I ran back one time, and I wasn't paying attention to this tree over here to my left. I ran back one time and stuck the lure right in the tree. So, and I'm like, crap. Yeah. But I definitely want to get back down there and do some more fishing from the bank down at that spot. But I definitely want to put a please don't litter sign up. Yeah. You'd have to go find a please don't litter sign and either tack it to a tree or take a post, a piece of wood or something, go dig a hole, put it in the ground with that sign on it. Please don't litter. But then the next time you go down there, the sign would be in the water. They'd be done tore it up out of the ground and threw it in the water probably. I got to jump off, guys. All right, Master Clouds. Again, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Good to have you here. I really appreciate it. But again, like I said, before you jump off, I am going to be thinking about that making some kind of system or buying some kind of system to set my kayak on so I can just roll it down there. That way I ain't even got to take a vehicle. Garbage can could be on the bridge 10 feet away and they don't use it. Thanks for the live chat, Marshall. You're welcome, Master Clouds. Anytime, my friend. Like I said, here every Tuesday so far. All right, Shin. I'm going to get ready and end this myself. And whoever else is on here, I'm going to get ready and end this. Call it a night. Peace. I hope everybody has a great one. We out. Hopefully see you next Tuesday.